Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Intuitive Messenger channel. My name is Mitchell Osborne, and this is my interview series. And I have with me today a very dear Facebook friend. One day in real life, we're going to meet. It is
Yeah.
Jay Ryan. So, Jay Ryan, how are you? Welcome, welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. We've been chatting for about 10, 15 minutes before we got on. I had lots of questions, and I just want to go over everything. But so, tell us who you are. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, so first and foremost, I am a millennial, which is I think silly, but let me explain. My name is Jay Ryan, and I have been reading tarot for 14 years.
Wow.
The
When
cards.
you're what, 5 years old?
No, I started when I was about 12, 13, 14 because the cards actually helped me come out of the closet.
Oh,
They were
good.
they were one of the reasons I actually came out as a gay man and started to own my identity. And so with that, I talk a lot about gay identity, LGBTQI issues, and people say, "Oh my gosh, it's all you talk about." I'm like, "Well, it's kind of a big part of my whole life."
And
Um,
they'll see the reference and the reason why you're mentioning all that real soon, especially. So what do you have to share with us today? And I'm very excited because before we got on the air, you're going to share something that nobody else has seen. So
yes.
so tell us
So
what you have. What are you're producing and kickstarting?
Yes, so I am kickstarting my first tarot deck, and this is a really cool
Yay!
project. I'm really excited. I originally had just named it the Queer Street Tarot deck because Queer Street Tarot is my tarot business that I've had online. But I decided to, after doing some changing, which I'll talk about in a second, I am now calling it the Queer Community Tarot.
Nice.
Yes, and so you guys get to see something really cool that I haven't shown anyone else. So you heard it here first.
Yay!
Here are
He,
the back
and
of the
he
cards.
teased me earlier, so
I
no one's
did.
seen the back of the cards yet.
No, but I've been all over Facebook with a lot of other designs. No one has seen the backs. So this is a Mitchell Osborne exclusive.
Ooh, yay! I love
Get
it. I
it,
love it. Oh,
people. Yes, and so it's kind of a riff on my design. I have this, spectrum thing going on there.
very nice.
Now, I have 5 cards here, and I'm gonna
And
explain something
let
to
me
really.
say this first. I've
Oh,
been watching you tease the heck out of us online because he'll do a card and he'll post it, and do a card and he'll post it. And I have to say, this is funny for me to say this, but the font that you use,
mm-hmm.
I I just love it. I don't know why I love it, but I love that font that you use, and it's so weird because it's like it's the simple part of it. And then I love the imagery that you're going to show us in just a moment. So I hope everybody else falls in love with this imagery as much as I
That's a hope of mine as well. So we're gonna see what
have.
happens. So I have 4 cards here from the deck that you've already seen. You might have seen the last image as well, but we'll see. We'll test you a little bit here. So here we have the Four of Swords.
Ah,
This is
I
a
love it.
gorgeous, gorgeous card. He is laying in a bubble bath of the galaxy.
Oh, I
You
love it.
know, um,
And
and I
show the see the font. I don't is that does that font have a name?
it does. It's apparently called Megrim.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it's just this really funky font. I fell in love with it as much as you did, and
It's
I
because
use
it's almost like it doesn't have an end. It flows. I mean, it's so
it
weird.
does.
It literally from the moment I saw it, I was more enamored by that than the images. They came second, which I thought
I
was
mean, I'm
hysterical.
glad that it really pulled you in. I mean, that's that. Any way I can get you pulled in is what I'm gonna go
Absolutely.
for.
So what else you
And
got? So
then,
Four of Swords, and
yep. And then we have the.
we're gonna read the cards that you brought. So Four of
Ooh, I didn't
Swords,
think
I
about that.
right. So
All
Four of
right.
Swords.
So then we have the Emperor card in this deck. It's Community.
Ah, nice.
Everyone
Nice.
loves a good teddy bear, right?
Yay! I love it. So that's the Emperor, and that's a four as well. So
Mm-hmm.
solid, practical. I
Mm-hmm.
know.
All right. And then we have Perspective, which is my Temperance card here,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it is a drag queen, caught between both worlds.
Oh, I love that. I love how it's like the lips are on one side and then the face is on the other.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
kind
so
of reminded
beautiful.
me of those optical illusions. Like, do you see the old woman first or the young girl?
Yes, 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 yes. So then that's Temperance, which is number five. Boils down to five. If I did the math right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's another four.
Oh,
Um,
yay! I love
so
it.
then we have my death card, which I fell in love with. So you have this image here on the side of the male figure. Let me just do that there.
Oh, yes, yes.
And
I
then
see his
this is
face.
actually a funeral, a graveyard scene, which I have kind of played with a little bit. So you can't really tell unless you're really close to it,
Oh,
where there's
beautiful.
flowers and things like that.
Wow, very
So,
beautiful. So
and we know
temperance, death.
13 boils down to four.
Yeah.
Now, this last one is going to need a little explaining. So, when I first started doing this deck, I initially wanted to do a deck for me, and I thought, well, I really want a deck full of hunky men. Um, and I wanted it to be queer as all get out because not a lot of decks out there really went in on the theme. They were kind of,
Yeah.
outside looking in. And so I started doing that for myself. This deck was never meant to be a public project.
Oh, wow.
And my friends were like, you need to see if people like this online. And I started posting things. And as you well know, it kind of took on a life of its own.
Yeah.
And here we are. But I posted it, one of the male images in a queer exchange group that's for the Twin Cities here in Minnesota. And one person put a sad face reaction on it.
Mm.
And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I was very, you get very invested in your art. And so I was just like, oh gosh, what did I do? Um, and I actually did ask them, like what happened, what's going on, and they never replied. But after talking to some other people, they said, it's great that you're doing a mail deck, but where's everyone else?
Ah,
And I was like,
that's deck number two. I know where you're going, but I'm thinking, let's get. And I'm going, just make it all male. But I know where you're going.
well, so what happened was, so I wanted to I wanted what I want, so I wanted that mail deck to be a thing, and I'm very stubborn that way. So I decided I'm going to make not one, not two, but
Mm,
three decks. I'm going to complete the male deck pretty soon here, and then
yeah,
I'm going to be doing the female deck, and then I'm having a third that's gender ambiguous, gender mysterious, for everybody who's either queer, trans, or just otherwise non-binary.
yeah.
Um, and that is, of course, people who don't identify as male or female. And so I actually have the High Priestess card from the female tarot.
Ooh.
Haven't seen it yet. Here
Oh,
she be.
wow. Oh, I love it.
And she's gonna hear me say this on video, and I'm never gonna hear the end of it. But do you know it kind of reminds me of Teresa Reed?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Just
It
kind of
does. I love it.
that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it up there for a second more, just because I love looking at it and just kind of feeling
Well,
that
so
like
power. I mean,
I
first of all,
know.
it's a high priestess. I mean, second of all, it's a powerful, strong woman who I can imagine is going to say what's on her mind. So
I
I
mean,
love
that
it.
fits the bill for Teresa, don't you
Yes, it
think?
does. Yes, it does.
I absolutely love her. She actually indirectly, just watching her presence online, watching her support her community of people, which I am very happy to say I adore her. She's very uplifting. So I'm glad that this card subconsciously just kind of came out this way
Oh, cool.
because I couldn't probably do a deck like this, any deck, without the community I have.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful. Very
yeah.
beautiful. So you've got this deck. So tell about the Kickstarter program so people can support this. Whatever you want to tell us about it, whatever direction it's going to go.
So right now the Kickstarter is currently 9 days away from completing, and it's probably not going to get to the goal because I initially started the Kickstarter program with just the male tarot in mind. Now that has expanded, I'm going to let this one run out, and then I'm going to uh, immediately post another Kickstarter. We're
Got
going to
it.
jump right into it,
Cool.
and it's going to detail all three decks, and you're gonna get tarot reveals for all three decks, and you'll have art prints available, you'll have decks available, and a couple other cool things too. I might throw in some posters as well, and see what we can do there. But I'm really hoping that people connect with it. So it's going to be available on my Facebook page, which is Queer Street Tarot, or queerstreettarot.com. And you can kind of find all the links kind of to redirect you wherever you want to go. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. All of that is Queer Street Tarot.
So queerstreettarot.com is probably the best place to get all the other links and everything.
Yep,
So,
exactly that.
so
And people,
I'll make sure that's posted in the notes below in the video so everybody will see that.
awesome. Awesome. And people actually ask me, like, why Queer Street Tarot? That's kind of a weird name. And I say, well, one, I was an English major at school. I graduated with a professional and creative writing degree. And if you see
Wow.
my bookshelf, I'm an English major through and through. I steal pens like they're going out of fashion. Um, and I came across the term Queer Street. It used to talk about someone kind of being down in a rock between a hard place, that kind of thing. They're going down a queer street right now. Jake is going down a
Mm,
queer street now. Mitchell's going down a queer street right now, and they're just going through a rough time. And I thought, well, so we have the pun there,
yeah.
queer street. Tarot is intrinsically tied up in my coming out process,
Yeah.
so there's that. And then what is tarot good for? Getting you out of the places you don't necessarily want to be. It helps you
Yeah.
roadmap. So it was the trifecta, and I immediately
Perfect.
got into it.
I
Uh,
love it.
but it requires a little explanation, but you know what? It's worth it.
I'll be honest with you. From the moment I saw Queer Street Terror, I thought I love it. I mean, it really, really sounds good, and I love even that you're going with queer community tarot. For
Hmm.
me, it's funny because Queer Street is like you said. It's like it's I'm headed down a street. Queer community shows me like an environment, like a
Hmm.
city, like a suburb, like a place for people to hang out. So it's like you're going to take the queer street to get to the community. I mean, it really is almost like what it feels like.
Well, and
So
that's intentional. Actually, what I wanted to do was kind of help people in the community, whether they're in one closet or another. Um, I wanted to help them realize that if they're going down a queer street, they're not alone.
yeah,
They have a whole community, and they may not, jive with some people in the community, but you can create your own family within that community that's going to help you and be there for you um, through some really rough times. And I think that's important for people to realize today.
yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. So tell us how people can find you to get a reading. We already know the Kickstarter, so they can go to the queerstreettarot.com, and that'll take them to the Kickstarter as well. They can find it there.
That'll take them to the Kickstarter.
Okay,
They'll take
good.
them to my services page as well as my blog, which is a little lax right now because I'm working on the cards.
Okay.
But it'll pick back up. But yes, so I do email readings. I do face to face or Skype or FaceTime readings. I have several forecasts and coaching packages on there as well. And I even offer, though I haven't had too many take me up on it. I even offer the full 78 card reading,
Woo! Oh, I'm
which is
I'm
which is better with a bottle of wine face to face. But
I'm looking up something because I'm trying to remember somebody that. Oh my gosh, he just posted his TED Talk today, and I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. He's someone who oh, hold on. He's someone who I follow, and oh my gosh, Jeffrey Marsh. I don't know if you know
okay,
Jeff. I don't know if you know Jeffrey Marsh or not, but he's someone who I follow. He created his own app. He was a Vine like
okay,
megastar, but this is he lives in New York, but he is. Um, they are they are um, just an amazing advocate for all the community, LGBTIA plus whatever, and they they get a lot of kids struggling, from
hmm,
around the globe, on the edge of death. And I love that this deck is also another way that people can look to and see another example of them on the cards. I
hmm,
have, like, I'm sure the one gay tarot that's out there, and I know there's more, but it's like the one that's been around the longest. I've got one in Italian and one in English, but
yep,
I love that this deck is going to be out there for anyone to grab and to read and to use. So
hmm.
I'm very excited that you shared it with us, and I set the intention for much success. That this queer street tarot and queer community tarot will take you around the globe some way, shape, or form. So,
As long as we get to meet each other and sit
oh,
across the
yes.
table, then I'm okay with that.
Yay, definitely. Definitely one day. Well, I'm in Orlando. So if you come anywhere within the Central Florida area, you let me know.
Oh, I
we
definitely will, and we're
we
gonna
will be at
have.
a Starbucks this fast.
Oh yes, definitely,
So,
definitely.
So everybody, please check out Jay Ryan at queerstreettarot.com and all the stuff that he has to offer. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being on here.
Thank you
Any
for having me. This has been a dream come true. I was gushing before we were actually on camera. I want everyone to know that I absolutely adore you and the work you do. Don't ever stop being amazing.
Well, thank you.
And really, you are an inspiration to just live your truth and just be a dream, chaser.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said earlier before on camera, I said, okay, something I'm doing is making a difference. So I'm glad that you feel that way about the work that I do. I appreciate it. And again, sending you and everybody watching lots of high vibrations. And we will talk to you guys next time on the next interview we do. So have a good night. Namaste, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.